It's really, I'm not just saying it, it's my deep honor to have you here. When would I ever be able to say thank you like this for what you do and the ability you give me to walk the streets of Eretz Yisrael and feel safe and be able to travel as many times as I like and send my children to learn there and just feel confident that they're going to be okay, and this is all your credit. And I wish I had all my friends and family that would be here, but they couldn't make it. They would be applauding the way you applauded. But really, that's my daughter. She just got married a month ago.
We will sing it for later.
So I'll just tell you about my background, and I'm sure it's very different than yours. But that's the beauty of it. I love that Klal Yisrael is not just one instrument. It's a whole symphony. I mean, how would you like to hear a song with just one instrument? When you have an orchestra, the song is just more beautiful. But it's nice when we all play the same song. And this is our strength and our beauty, that we can all bring our own chachma, our own experiences to the table, and let's see what we can do with it, because we all have a little piece of truth in us. Nobody has the whole truth. Everyone has a piece of it. So whatever you're going to bring to the table is just going to, bless you, it's just going to add on to the beautiful picture and symphony orchestra that really belongs to us. Because we are, at the end of the day, we're all one. We really are all one. And even though we can sometimes have very strong disagreements, I know you've heard this again and again and again, but I'm going to say it. Hitler put us all into one gas chamber. He didn't ask us if we were Hasidim or Haredim or Litaim or whatever it is, or Mizrahi or Chiloni. He didn't care. Even if we were converted to Christianity, he dragged us all to the same. And I know because I'm a child of 2 Holocaust survivors. My father, Alav Shalom, HaKadosh Baruch Hu must have given them strength that makes no sense. I mean, today, if we would witness one day of Auschwitz, we would need therapy for the rest of our lives. I mean, but they just had this drive to continue, because that's how we fight. We fight with light, right? You heard that probably from Shimi a lot of times. So I was born in Brooklyn. My parents had this house. I grew up in this home upstairs. And when my mother passed away, we just divided the house between the sisters, and I just bought it off them because I was living here taking care of my mother who had Alzheimer's for 15 years. So I had 13 children. The 11th one just got married. This was an easy meal. Oh yeah, this was nothing.
Wow.
This was.
How old is the youngest and the oldest?
So the youngest one is here. Libby, where's her Kalaya? I'll tell her to come say hi in a minute. She has her friends. She's studying for finals. My daughter who just got married is number 11, and I have another 2 that are. I'm trying to hang on a little bit, but you know what? Somebody once said, "We don't marry them off; we marry them on." So they keep coming back, thank God. And I have a lot of grandchildren. So this is my baby.
Good luck in your finals.
Thank you. You just say hi. Just say hi. And say thank you. So just say hi. I'm telling them about it.
You can introduce yourself.
She's going to study. Yeah, she's sweet. She's my only redhead.
What about me?
You know, we had a mission to get a picture with a redhead kid on our Amazing Race. We had Amazing Race, and I wish we could find her.
She's not a kid anymore. She's already grown up.
I love yeah. They say the bottom of the pot is burned, you know, so they. But I've always lived here. We're Hasidim. Where our Rebbe is The previous Rebbe, he passed away about 15 years ago, Halberstam, Babiv. My husband is Babiv 4 generations back. They were originated in, well, the name of the city was Auschwitz, actually, but it's Auschwitzim. That's where my father-in-law was born. And we raised our kids here. Our Rebbe lives here. We love going to Eretz Yisrael. We just love it every opportunity I can get. So I was invited to Aish one year to speak to a group of religious women that came to Aish HaTorah actually to get inspiration, because we're never done. I know we look finished. We're not. We have our struggles, we have our challenges, and Aish HaTorah, Torah is for everybody, and it speaks to everyone at any age and any stage. So we went to Aish HaTorah. I was invited to speak to a group of women about outreach, and I went to Aish HaTorah for the first time, and I was so blown away by what I heard there. I decided to bring it to my community, and I started to teach high school. And then I realized that I think educators need to know more about what Aish is offering. So I created an organization where we take educators, actually minahalot, to Israel for a week on a mission like you're doing here. And I'm trying to change their perspective on education and how to deepen the connection. Because like I said, we're never done, it's infinite. And it's been amazing because myself and another 2 partners have taken almost 60 educators from across the United States. All different, not just Hasidish, it's many different schools. And it's been amazing. And I also run a seminary for Banot. They're like 18 years old. And I'm enjoying my children and my grandchildren. And we have a very thriving Hasidut here. It's like Shabbatot and Chagim are very alive. It's very, very alive. And we'd love to see Mashiach very soon, where we can all pick ourselves up and go to Eretz Yisrael. I once had, you know Yom Tov Glazer? No, Yom Tov Glazer. He speaks Headache. So he asked me, he says, Real, you're all sitting here in this beautiful America when Mashiach is going to come. He says, are you ready to leave? Are you ready to go to Eretz Yisrael? I said, when my kids were young, I said, I will leave everything. Give me 5 minutes to take my kids to the bathroom. That's it. And I'm out of here. I'm straight for Eretz Yisrael. But as it is now, we love to visit and stay as long as we can. So that's who I am, and it is my honor, really, when Shimi calls me. I had a retreat for the past 2 days with the principals that we were involved in our organization. We did an educational workshop for them to try to raise the culture in our schools. And I came home late, like 1 o'clock in the morning last night. I knew that's going to happen. But when Shimi says, I'm bringing my chayalim, it's like when Shimi says jump, I say how high. I never say no to Shimi, right, Shimi? Right, Shimi?
Yeah, right.
I never said no. Shimi's like part of the family.
I didn't even say chayalim, I said Israeli.
That's true. It's true. It doesn't matter.
Just so that you guys
And
understand,
Chayalot.
when Mrs. Riper says that she took 60 educators, that means that these are women who are influencing
Thousands.
close to,
Thousands.
I don't know, 10,000,
More.
even more, thousands of young American Jews from different backgrounds of how to connect more to our Jewish values, to connect more to Israel, to connect more to actually different types of Jews, and to understand what Judaism really has to offer to their personal life. And that's a revolutionary project that she started with her 2 partners to realize, take the educators that are on the top of the schools that will influence the rest of the educators, that will influence thousands of people. And it's an amazing program.
It is.
It's every year or every...
So we do a mission for the new principals to Israel once a year, and then they give us their teachers to train, and we have a teachers training, and then we do a retreat in the summer. And we did this past few days was a new thing because the principal said, give us more. We want just for us, just for principal. Being a menahelet is a very lonely position. They said it's very lonely up here. We need someone to hold our hands and what. The interesting thing is, one of the most beautiful things that came out of this organization that I'm running is that they learned to connect and share instead of compete. Instead of competing and we turned competition into collaboration, and they network and they share and they consult each other and they solutionize, and they're not ashamed anymore to admit the problems they have. We broke the barrier. And that's what I think that is our main job today. Just listen to each other and with our hearts and really listen, yes.
Can you tell a little bit more about the Hasidut or your lifestyle and
About your Hasidut.
Sure.
Even
So-
like your daily life.
My daily
just
life, I
friends.
wake up in the morning, I brush my teeth, I get dressed, I eat breakfast. It's really very regular. We do the same things.
Tell them about shidduchim,
Yeah.
about marriage,
But what's special in your community?
and about the balance of work and Torah and prayer.
So my husband is a salesman.
Everything you want to know about Hasidut is right here, unfiltered.
Let me tell you the definition of Chassidut. The real definition. The Bab of Rebbe? Halberstam? Sons? Rabbi Shalom? Sons. That's that. There's Sons of Bnei Brak. So that was the first one. This is a son. This is a descendant of Sons. No, he's Babiv, but his great grandfather, he's Babiv. B-O-B-O-V.
חברים, אני רוצה לבקש מכולם, חברים, יש לנו פה הרבה שאלות, אבל לצערי, אנחנו קצרים בזמן.
As usual.
שאלנו עכשיו 3 שאלות שהן כוללות הרבה שאלות בתוכן. בואו נשים את השיחות האלו בצד, כי זה לא פייר לכל מי שרוצה להקשיב. אז פשוט, we want to hear, and everyone's excited, so that's why I'm toning it down. I think shidduchim, work and learning and marriage.
Yeah,
whatever it
okay,
is
so
that you
really
want.
basically my day is a regular day. I go to work, I go to school, I have friends, I have kids. My door is always open to you as well. And I host a lot. My children are always here. They come for Chagim. My grandchildren, they're always coming. It's a very lively, happy place, thank God. Sometimes very messy, but that's okay. My husband works. He's a salesman for a food company. He wakes up early in the morning. He goes to learn Torah before he prays. Then he prays. Then he goes to work. Then he comes back and he prays again and goes to learn again. He has a chavruta, and they've been learning together for years and years. And then, I mean, it's a beautiful community because we're very responsible for one another. We know when someone needs help, and we're there. Like if there's a new mother that has a baby, for 2 weeks she gets supper, dinner for her family.
Like in a kibbutz in Israel.
Well, the kibbutz is a little different because we're really living our own. We're not living in one. But it's
Something that is similar to the kibbutz.
but yes and no, because it's the arvut is but that's the only similarity. It ends there because we really are independent families, and we do it. We don't have someone that tells us what to do. We're on our own. We're just raised that way. Our marriages are. So, it goes like this. We feel that parents are a little bit smarter than their 18-year-old or 19-year-old kids. So we want their marriages to last forever, and we don't want them to base it on externals. You know what I mean. So we do the investigation when someone suggests a match for our child. Our children do not hang out together, boys and girls. It's just healthier emotionally that way. There's no broken relationships. There's no heartbreak. By the time you're ready to commit, it's a commitment. It is a commitment. Many people struggle with commitment. But I always tell the women, or I shouldn't say this. Huh? If you ever found anyone that has a problem with commitment, I promise you that if he would not be able to touch a female until he commits, he'd commit. He'd learn really quickly how to commit. After that, after the commitment, they're bringing a whole unblemished heart to the relationship, and our divorce rate is very low, very, very low, very, very low. It's not unusual. It's not foolproof. It's not foolproof. But I have 11 very, very happily married children. Thank God. Thank God.
Is this the main motivation?
Is it what?
The main motivation, I mean, to live.
The main motivation is to be a productive human being. It's one of the ways of being a productive human being is by raising a family and giving, and leaving some legacy. Nobody wants to just finish and bye. You know, we leave a legacy and we feel like we really gave the world something. When you give the world a human being that's a productive human being, you're really infinite.
But if the couple
is not happy, there's something called a get.
yes, but if they are, I guess,
It does.
young,
They're very, very young. They're 18, right? So therefore, they trust their parents a lot. They really do. We try to find out as much as possible about the person that's involved. We know the families. We look for people that are nice and have midot, and we ask their friends. We ask the people they go to summer camp with. We ask their chavrutas. We ask their friends. We ask very good questions, and we see if it's a match. You know, somebody that wants to live in the desert should not marry someone that wants to live in the mountains. You know, what are your goals, right? What?
but if they don't like each other,
We find. See, she interrupted me. I mean, she helped me. They meet. We investigate the match, but then they meet. They speak for hours.
Okay.
They discuss, you know, what their likes and dislikes. I see if there's chemistry. You know, we're human, so there is. Yeah.
No, I try to say it in Hebrew because I don't know how to say it. אבל זה יהיה מעניין, תמר, שדווקא אנחנו רגע נטיל ספק באיך אנחנו מכירים, שמכירים. מי אמר שאם תכיר 1,000 בנות אז...
נכון, לגמרי.
I don't know, זה לא תכיר את זה בעתיד.
We need to doubt the way that we doubt meet the other person. That he said like the only thing I would doubt the way that we do it and not like usually it's like not validation, not really and don't do this investigation and really check like the midot and their inside and not only the outside.
And they So they do speak to each other and they see if they like each other. And like my son once advised, and I daven, I pray.
You have a question that you ask the other side that you can...
People have said no to my child, and I've said no to other people's children.
Because it's specific questions or...
Because
like, you said you check if the other person is a good person, okay? But how can you know if it's matched to your child or...
This is true, but I'm very blessed that I have a lot of children. So they know, like my son was up for, you know, shidduchim. She was in high school. She knew all the girls. She knows her brother. So I had it really easy. And she goes, Ma, no, not her. Yes, her. And not everyone wanted me for different reasons. It's okay. It's a nice game. And really, at the end of the day, it's, as they call in Yiddish, bashert. You ever heard the word? It's bashert. It's bashert. It's meant to min hashamayim. They're one soul, and God leads them to get together in one way or another. It happens, and they, yeah.
Do you encourage, like, your community to take extracurricular activities, like maybe, I don't know, to be
Music, therapy, swimming. What else?
I mean,
art.
Meeting other people, like I don't know, maybe go out of the city to meet other people.
We're very careful about who our kids talk to. It's a crazy world.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we try to protect our children.
I mean, other children.
Well, if my children go to summer camp with kids that come from all over, but there's somebody there that checks that the child is not a drug addict.
That's what I mean. Like going to summer camps, going to...
For sure. We don't keep them in a closet.
No, of
They
course
have a
not.
lot of freedom. You want to no, totally.
Just want to say that you are a role model for all the young boys and girls here to how to combine between having family and a big family and career
And fun.
And life.
She's the funnest lady I know, by the way.
Yes.
Oh, really?
By far. You watch, I don't know if I can say kids this publicly.
So,
I've seen her do some crazy things.
So one of the biggest compliments I got from a friend of mine who is Balat Tshuva, she said, we're very lucky you're religious, Tzipi, because otherwise you'd be a lot of trouble. Idana said that to me.
Well, we have 5 minutes left.
But
So I want to make sure that we get the last few questions. We're
So
gonna
why
try
don't
to
you
make
choose who to-
short questions. Chofit, Ron. Let's start with
Okay,
Chofit first. No, Chofit. היה שאלה?
Oh, I'm sorry, I
שרה.
didn't see.
חבר'ה, אני סתם אומר לכם לפני שאנחנו ממשיכים שיש פה בית, אני מכיר אותם, כן? אני ככה העליתי. שווה לבקר באופן כללי, מוזמנים.
אפשר פשוט לבוא?
כן.
מוזמנים.
פחות או יותר, אז ככה זה סוג של...
I can't take you 40 at a time. For Chagim, maybe yes. Try me.
תמשיכי, חופית.
I want to ask what the difference between your Hasidut and
A different-
other Hasidut, like...
מנהגים, זמירות שבת.
את השידוכים יש גם, אנחנו מכירים, we know that the religion in our country is the same. But I want to ask what the difference, especially in your Hasidut. Like...
We have 20 Hasidut in New York. We have Babel, we have Satmar, we have Stalin, we have
Especially in
people.
Babel's Hasidut, what's the unique about them? Like, what they think about the live in Israel?
They love Israel. They think it's the biggest treat to be able to go there.
They pray to the Mashiach.
They pray to Hashem, and we daven for Mashiach so we could go as soon as possible. I love the tefillot. I love their minhagim. I love the zmirot. And it's every Hasidut has its like individuals, like people. Every school, every bet sefer, has its own unique character. And it's when you're born into it, it's just easier. You get used to it. But it's not weird or strange, or we don't do any crazy minhagim. We just live.
And you have connection between another Hasidut here in the Brooklyn, like
Some of my best friends, of course, and my family. We don't always all marry the same Hasidut. My brother married a different one, and he's a different one. We're one happy family. It doesn't matter. You know, if I eat this hechsher or that hechsher or that, it's ridiculous. We have a lot more in common than we have differences.
עכשיו רון שואל שאלה.
Okay, so first, thank you for having us again.
Pleasure. Wasting time. What?
The food was delicious.
Thank you. I hope it was enough.
And my question is, so I'm very interested. Okay, so basically, the secular world changed over the years in terms of dating, from going to a bar to using dating apps. So my question for you, no, it's coming. My question for you is,
This sounds like a
Shida.
question for tomorrow with the CEO of JD.
I want to hear it anyway.
Shida. Shida. Did it change over the years? It can be by using technology or just change in different ways.
We use technology sometimes. People post their resumes. They have a resume and they'll post it on a dating app, but it's somebody is monitoring it so that there's no lies or people that are not legitimate. It's monitored, but you can have boys and girls posting their resumes on different apps. I think one is called Saw You at Sinai. One is called Frumster. They're different. Yeah. So I don't know. But it's monitored, and you have to do your investigation. And the best thing is if you can really, because nobody's going to say, I have social issues, and no one's going to put any. They're only going to put their best foot forward, so you can't.
Danielle has a
So I
question.
was,
Sure.
in Israel, it's very common that there are like Hasidut, but a lot of people become like secular, just go out with Hasidut. So I want to ask you if you it's also common or it happens? And if yes or no, so why you think like
Why I think it happens?
I'm not sure if it's happening to you. That's what I'm asking.
It happens more often than we'd like to talk, to talk about. I mean, or to feel, or to realize. It happens often, and it always happens because they are in pain. Parents, in our community at least, parents are the children's representative of God. So if they're disappointed in authority, then they're disappointed in Hashem, in God. And they take it out, their anger on their religion. Like if they look, we're not perfect, right? You cannot judge Judaism by the Jews. Okay? You cannot blame the architect for what the tenants do to the building. Our way of life is great, it's beautiful, it's perfect. Some people don't behave, even though they look religious. It doesn't mean that they're not doing things that they shouldn't be doing. We also have Yetzer Hara. But when children see that, sometimes they are very disappointed. And they say, you know what? I don't need this. And they get angry. It happens. And we love them anyway, of course. And it just pains us because usually when you leave a lifestyle like this, they're in pain. There's pain there. That's what we try to address. Yeah.
Last question.
I'm having so much fun. Sorry? Water? Oh, me? No, I'm good. Sorry?
Okay. Last question.
What do you think that the community of the Haredim in Israel can learn from you, and what do you think that you can learn from the Keilah?
I think that there's so much blind hatred. I think the media is really killing it for us. They're just we suffer from this in America too. The media is impossible. I mean, they're in control, and they twist our minds. And instead of listening to them, they have an agenda. Visit some nice Jewish homes in Israel. Like, why don't we give each other a chance? I think that if we would sit down and just feel each other's neshamot, it's a whole different ballgame. We're like candles, A neshama is like a candle. And when you put two candles near each other, the flames come together. They just like attract each other. And that's the way it is. When Jews meet each other, there's just a feeling of we belong to the same Father. We're one family, even if we look different and speak different and behave different. It's the truth. So we just read it in the paper, and you read that someone did something horrible, and we say, okay, they're all like that. You know what? The non-Jews are doing that to us. You have one Jew, Bernie Madoff, that stole whatever, and then all the Jews are ganavim. That's not true. But you need to be open-minded, and there's just so much blind hatred, and no one's giving anyone a chance. And I have to just share with you something. The Haredim in Israel, and I've heard this more than once, really think that the Chilonim are not interested. They think you're not interested. And I've heard it over and over.
A lot of times, like that.
Wow,
It's true.
There's so much, and it's time to stop
You
it.
have an idea for a social project that we can...
Listen to every word they tell you. They should be like, we have an Admor, you have Admor. This is Admor for you. He's going to send you the right
I've never been called an Admor before.
We want to take this opportunity to thank Mrs. Reifer. She's really...
Please come back.
When you speak about two flames coming together and connect, whenever we come in here, you open up not just your house, but your heart so much that people can feel it. It's palpable in the air very, very quickly, and we really appreciate that. It's something that is unique, that we feel that we can't get anywhere else. So
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And
Please
I'm
come
glad to
again.
talk
Thank
about
you.
that.
It's my honor. It's my honor.
Can we take the whole group picture together? With
Sure.
you? Okay.
Of course.
Thank you.
דרך אגב,